Welcome to our video on the healthiest nuts, ranked from worst to best. In this episode, we'll dive into the nutritional profiles of various nuts, revealing which ones are worth incorporating into your diet and which might be more indulgent than beneficial. From the often misunderstood peanuts to the brain-boosting walnuts, we're breaking down each nut's health benefits and drawbacks. Join us as we rank these nutty favorites from the least nutritious to the ultimate healthy powerhouse. 1. Pine nuts, the empty calories champion. Think you're making a healthy choice by sprinkling pine nuts on your salad? Think again. Pine nuts rank dead last on the health scale, sitting at the bottom of antioxidant rankings despite their hefty price tag. These tiny kernels pack around 190 calories per ounce with minimal nutritional bang for your buck. Sure, they add a delicate flavor to your pesto, but you're essentially eating expensive fat with very little to show for it. While technically seeds from pine cones rather than true nuts, pine nuts are high in potassium, but that's about where their benefits end. For the money you're spending, you could buy almost any other nut and get significantly more nutrition. Think of pine nuts as the luxury car of the nut world, pretty to look at, but not the smartest investment. 2. Macadamia nuts, rich and indulgent but nutritionally lacking. Macadamia nuts have the most calories of all nut types, clocking in at a whopping 200 calories per ounce with a staggering 21 grams of fat. These buttery Hawaiian beauties might taste like heaven, but they're essentially nature's butter bombs. With only 2 grams of protein per serving, macadamias offer the lowest protein content among nuts. However, they're not completely without merit. Research suggests macadamia nuts can be included in a heart-healthy dietary pattern that reduces cardiovascular disease risk factors. Some studies indicate they may improve brain function and provide fuel for sporting events due to their high fat content. But let's be real, if you're watching your weight or trying to get the most nutrition per calorie, macadamias should be an occasional treat, not a daily staple. 3. Brazil nuts, the selenium overload. Brazil nuts are like that friend who means well but doesn't know when to stop. Brazil nuts have the most saturated fats of all nut types, and here's the kicker: just one nut contains more than a day's worth of selenium, with recent research hinting that too much selenium may be linked to type 2 diabetes risk. About 3 Brazil nuts are all you need to get your daily dose of selenium, so make sure you're not overdoing it. These creamy nuts are a source of selenium, a mineral that may protect against certain diseases and plays a role in DNA production, reproduction, and thyroid gland functioning. The problem is moderation. Most people don't realize they're getting a massive selenium overdose that could actually harm their health. Treat Brazil nuts like a vitamin supplement, not a snack. 4. Cashews, the processed pretender. Cashews occupy an interesting middle ground in the nut hierarchy, offering some solid benefits while falling short in others. Cashews have some of the lowest fat contents per serving of the healthiest nuts, with 13.2 grams of fat per ounce. A serving of cashews contains about 70% of the recommended daily allowance for copper, a mineral that helps create energy and maintain the nervous and immune systems. Research shows that diabetes patients who consumed a daily serving of cashews saw lower insulin levels and reduced cholesterol, and regular consumption may help lower blood pressure. However, cashews are heavily processed. They're actually steamed or roasted to remove toxic oils before you can eat them. When it comes to overall health rankings, cashews perform poorly compared to other nuts. They're decent, but there are much better choices ahead. 5. Peanuts, the misunderstood legume. Let's get one thing straight: peanuts technically belong to the legume family, but they have a nutrient profile similar to that of tree nuts. For the biggest nutritional value for your buck, you can't beat peanuts and pistachios, as they are among the highest in protein, lowest in fat, and lowest in calories. Peanuts have 26 grams of protein per 100 grams serving and are an excellent way for people to boost the amount of protein in their diet. They're also high in folate, which is essential during pregnancy and aids in new cell production, making them a great choice for vegetarians who often come up short on folate. Peanuts contain a range of polyphenols, antioxidants, flavonoids, and amino acids that research has shown to be beneficial to human health. The stigma around peanuts often comes from their association with cheap bar snacks, but nutritionally, they punch well above their weight. 6. Pecans. The Southern Belle with a dark side. Pecans are actually the chart topper when it comes to antioxidant content, followed by walnuts as the two healthiest nuts around. Pecans are a bit lower in protein and fiber than many other nuts, but they make up for it in healthy fats and levels of vitamin B, zinc, and manganese. Research shows that participants with coronary heart disease saw improvement in cholesterol levels after eating pecans daily for 3 months, and patients with obesity who consumed a pecan-rich diet saw improvement in their insulin. However, there's a catch: pecans are quite high in inflammatory linoleic acid at 37%, and while they contain good amounts of stable oleic fat, they have very low amounts of saturated fats to offset the polyunsaturates. Pecans are definitely a moderation-only nut despite their antioxidant superpowers. 7. Hazelnuts. The vitamin E powerhouse. Hazelnuts are highly nutritious, packing healthy fats, protein, and fiber, but what really sets them apart is their vitamin E content. Research has shown that hazelnuts are an especially rich source of monounsaturated fats and can help manage LDL cholesterol like walnuts. High in folate, hazelnuts are great for women who are pregnant or thinking of becoming pregnant. Vitamin E is an antioxidant that protects against harmful effects of free radicals, aids immune function, helps create red blood cells, and prevents blood clots. A 2016 review suggests that regularly eating hazelnuts may help reduce heart disease risk factors like elevated LDL cholesterol and total cholesterol. Hazelnuts rank as the third healthiest nut overall, making them a solid choice for daily consumption. They're like the reliable middle child of the nut family, not flashy, but consistently delivering results. 8. Pistachios. The complete protein wonder. Here's where things get really interesting. Pistachios are a great source of plant-based protein because they are one of the few plants that contain all 9 essential amino acids in adequate quantities, making them a complete protein. They're also a good source of melatonin, which promotes healthy sleep, and their signature green color comes from phytochemicals that lend antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Eating pistachios may be useful for weight management as they're high in protein and fiber, are high in vitamins and minerals including B6, and a 2020 study found they may reduce blood pressure and increase blood antioxidant levels. Pistachios have some of the lowest fat contents per serving with 12.8 grams per ounce. Pistachios had the highest density of essential vitamins and minerals among all nuts tested. Think of pistachios as the overachiever of the nut world. 9. Almonds. The accessible all-star. Almonds are popular due to their flavor, impressive nutrient profile, and relatively cheap cost, available raw or roasted and often made into almond butter, flour, and milk. These nuts are particularly high in vitamin E, making them one of the healthiest nuts for skin and vision health, with around 6 grams of protein per ounce. Relatively low in calories, almonds have more calcium than any other nut and are rich in fiber and vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps fight dangerous inflammation. Research shows that whole almonds may support gut health through their prebiotic properties, with many phytochemicals housed in the fibrous almond skin. Almonds had the highest concentration of quality protein among nuts. The antioxidants in almonds can protect against obesity, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. Almonds are basically the Swiss Army knife of nuts: reliable, versatile, and consistently useful. 10. Walnuts. The brain food champion. All nuts contain monounsaturated fats, but walnuts have especially high amounts and are a source of heart-healthy alpha-linoleic acid, ALA, an omega-3 fatty acid found in plants, with eating half a cup per day potentially lowering LDL cholesterol levels. Human and animal research suggests that eating 1–2 ounces of walnuts per day may improve brain function and reduce risk factors for dementia, such as heart disease and type 2 diabetes.